So this is a bill that would protect important wild places on federal lands. It would help restore forests and fish habitat, benefit local communities economically as well as wildlife, increase recreational opportunities and spur tourism, and protect communities by increasing fire resilience. The bill designates a 730,000-acre special restoration area in the South Fork Trinity River, Mad River, and North Fork Eel River watersheds. It supports redwoods restoration and would establish a partnership of federal, state, and local entities to restore public lands and waters that are damaged by something many of us in the West are concerned about, illegal trespass marijuana grow sites. The bill also focuses on recreation with a total of 295 miles of trails that offer opportunities for hiking, biking, horseback riding, and off-highway vehicle use. The bill proposes new visitor centers and overnight lodging to boost the rapidly growing outdoor recreation economy, and it benefits and its many benefits for communities around these valuable public lands. Lastly, the bill would result in 261,000 acres of wilderness and 379 miles of wild and scenic rivers, designating areas that are critical habitat for endangered salmon and steelhead, and that protects some of the largest intact old-growth oaks, conifers, and redwood forests remaining in California. These are areas that include some of the best fishing, swimming, and whitewater runs in the state. I'd also like to highlight that the bill before us today reflects input from diverse stakeholders over several years of working with communities throughout this part of my district. The development of this bill, the whole time, has included sitting down with constituents and stakeholders, presenting these proposals at public meetings, discussing concerns with local elected officials, including county supervisors. I have moved boundaries and removed wilderness proposals because of input we received from these stakeholders. We have made changes to address concerns raised by landowners, the timber industry, and tribes. So I believe this is a comprehensive, carefully developed bill. That's why it has such broad support, including from conservation organizations, outdoor recreation groups, and dozens of businesses and community leaders, local outfitters and guides, adjacent landowners, and former and current local elected officials in all of the affected counties in my district. Being active in the outdoors, experiencing wild places, and connecting to a healthy environment is the way of life for my constituents and for many visitors to the 2nd District. It's critical to take care of these places and to ensure a future for the communities that rely on them, and that's what my bill would do. So I respectfully urge my colleagues to support it, and I yield back.
Thank you, Mr. Huffman. Anybody want to be recognized in the legislature?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. I regret the stereotype that too often when the bill comes from the opposing party, there must be something wrong with it. And so I undertook a deep study of this bill with my staff. I personally met with Mr. Huffman. And although there are things I would do differently, there are a number of things that I was impressed with. And maybe just to mention a few of those. First of all, let me remind everybody that this is his district, that he is the duly elected representative accountable to the people of his district, and that means a great deal to me, even if that means that the people in your district see things differently than the people in my district. The local support is significant, and although perhaps not perfect, rarely is in a bill of this nature, and I think that's very important that he's garnered the local support. It's clear to me that he's worked hard to build consensus and made changes to his bill that he may not otherwise do to build that consensus and listen to many stakeholders, including myself, and my thoughts on the bill. And I want to encourage that, and I want to show that we can work across the aisle even when we have different opinions, and that we can support each other on important public lands issues. And for that reason, I'll be supporting the bill today. I yield back.
Would the gentleman yield for a thank you?
Yes.
I want to thank Mr. Curtis for taking the time to sit down with me and walk through this bill. I really appreciate it. We don't do enough of that, just among all of our colleagues, but certainly across the aisle. That's a refreshing opportunity for dialogue and collaboration. And I especially appreciate the chance to share with him the evolution of this bill, because it started out as a proposal that was just wilderness. And I wanted to do more than that. I wanted to do something different, and it evolved into something that was very unique, I think, in terms of a public land bill, because it does include fire resiliency. It does include areas where there will be working forest activities. Some trees will be cut and logged and milled as a result of this bill, but it also does include wilderness and recreation and other values, and we have worked very, very hard to thread that needle of local support and to remove all of the local opposition for many of my local elected boards and commissions. So really grateful for the gentleman's open mind and collaboration and dialogue, and with that, I'll yield back.